Have you ever wondered how you should structure your week of training in order to maximize performance and recovery? It's like, how many days should I be going to the gym? How many days should I be running? Should you be going to the gym in the morning, in the afternoon? Should you be running on the same day going to the gym? Should you have a day off in between? These are all the questions I'm going to be asking in today's episode. I'm also going to talk about a few different things when it comes to how to manage stresses, how to periodize or plan your off-season training, what parts of the year I encourage my bowlers to have a rest from bowling, and why I encourage them to go through periods of focusing on physical development over skill development and etc. Because we can have it all, but we just can't have it all at once as fast bowlers. And what I mean by that is there's going to be phases where strength and power in the gym is going to be a priority. That also can't be the priority when taking wickets is the priority as well. When playing tournament cricket is a priority. There's times when games are more important. There's times when training is more important. There's times when you might want to do more higher rep stuff, more lower rep stuff, more longer volume running, more shorter sprint work. And it's something that's really been playing on my mind recently, as it's been great because my online clients and all the cricketers I've been working with have been asking some awesome questions. And I'm thinking, if they're asking questions, then I'm assuming you're going to be asking questions as well. And they're really interested in how I balance their weeks and why we're doing certain exercises now, or why we're doing this much volume now. And I'm gonna pull back the curtain. I'm gonna let you know what is going on. Some things with me as well with my training. I have had an awesome training week, and how good is it when you get on a bit of a roll with your own training? Strava, our Strava group is popping at High Performance Cricket. If you want to join, then you need to download our running program, our free 10-week running program, which is just shy of 1,000 downloads. I'm going to get up the MailChimp right now. We're at 986. Let's refresh that. Can I get one more going? Bang. No, 986. And we're about a week in. So that's exciting here. And if you go into our Strava group, as I'm getting this loaded up right now, 109 members in there. So boys are flying. I am currently sitting fourth on the total Ks in the leaderboard. Jack Beer on top. Absolutely killing it. But I'm on a bit of a heater right now. I've been training the house down. I've been training with Cam McClure, who's plays for Victoria, in the Sheffield Shield as a fast bowler. I'm in the gym with him Monday, Wednesday, Friday, coaching him, but also doing his sessions with him as a training buddy, which has been awesome. The way how he's been training has been that good. And a strategy that we're both putting in place for his training and my training is something called consolidating the stresses, or embracing something called the high-low model. And essentially what we're doing is that we're pairing all of our hardest leg work on the same days and all of our hardest upper body and off legs work on the same days. So on a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, when we're in the gym, we're also doing our running sessions on the Monday, Wednesday, Friday as well to maximize performance and maximize our recovery. You see, by doing that, it actually allows us to have multiple days off our legs. Whereas let's say if we're doing running on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, we only have Sunday for our legs to rest and recover, which is not optimal. We want to be managing our fatigue throughout a week to give ourselves more days off of rest. So on Monday, what I've got Cam doing is some sort of sprint work with some shorter interval running. Wednesday, he's doing some more longer aerobic running, and he's doing more sprint work on Friday. And then that's how we're managing our gym as well. We're doing our heavy, intense day on Monday and Friday. Then in the middle is more of a lower intensity, more motor control, more of that specific sort of fast bowler gym work, like your front foot contact isometrics, some hip lock work, some back foot contact, some tendon stiffness stuff, things that are a bit low load, where on the Monday and Friday, it's more of our general, strength stuff in the gym where we're looking to push load, which is more fatiguing on the nervous system. So that's how we're balancing out his training week. And inherently, that's how we're balancing out my training week. So it's been really, really good. I'm training for a half marathon in July, which has been awesome to have something to train for, which is so good. So I've been loving that. And it's been great being a part of the High Performance Cricket Strava and getting people absolutely amongst it. Like, I'm on it right now. I'm getting around people. I'm trying to like everyone, give everyone some kudos because everyone does love that. And it's great seeing the community, the High Performance Cricket community, all doing their 10-week running program, which is free, by the way. Link it down below in the Strava group, which is awesome. So if you're not a part of that, please get a part of that. But let's get stuck into sort of the way how I'm sort of balancing my weeks for my fast bowlers at the moment. And this is also for other cricketers, so like batters, spinners, etc. But I'm going to use fast bowlers as the example because that's probably what majority of the audience is. The same thing can apply. So right now we're doing probably 3 gym sessions per week, mainly. Some guys are doing 4. But let's say we're doing 3 gym sessions a week, which I think is really manageable. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. I don't mind as long as there's a day in between. I'm doing the same as what I'm doing with Cam. So Monday, when we're freshest, we're doing a lot of our high fatiguing work. So our sessions is purely looking at becoming more faster, more powerful, and stronger. It's more about force. Raw force, simpler movements. The simpler the movement, the more force you can produce. And essentially, I'm trying to build up the athletes I'm working with. These are in particular the guys that are, late teens, early 20s. We're trying to get them up to a point where physically they lack for nothing. Physically, they have the power, the explosiveness, the strength to handle the rigours of fast bowling. That's what this block's for. We've developed a bit more in the previous blocks, a bit more volume, a bit more slower eccentric work, but now we're really starting to build a good bit of strength, and we're going to probably spend the next 1 to 2 months building some proper strength and power to handle the rigours of fast bowling. That's quite nearly draining. So then after that, I'm going to give them a day off. Like for example as well, let's circle back to the Monday. A session might look like some loaded jumps. If you can Olympic lift, some Olympic lifting, some intense plyometrics, some med ball throws, and then some heavy, might be the trap bar deadlift. There might be some step ups. There might be Bulgarian split squats, RDL, some fundamental movements. Then we're doing some chin ups, some pressing, more traditional gym based movements. Wednesday, I don't want to fatigue them too much because there probably still is a little bit of carryover fatigue from the Monday, even with the Tuesday off. This is where we're doing more specific things. So this is where I've got videos that I've got all my online clients to send me of their bowling. So I know what their bowling action looks like. I know what are the key areas that we're working on from a skill point of view, a technique point of view. And then how can we then align their gym work to then get them better at that certain task, that certain technique change that we're trying to make as well. So this is where I'll be looking at doing some back foot contact, some tendon stiffness work on their back leg, whether it's doing some isometric holds, whether we're doing some hip lock work where we're dropping into that back foot contact and we're being really strong in that position. We also might be doing some isometric work at front foot contact or some med ball sequencing work where maybe we're trying to link that isometric feeling that we're holding that position at front foot contact in that brace position, and then we're trying to transition that into a med ball drill. It's a little bit more dynamic. These are some examples of what we're trying to work on at the moment. Then we also might be integrating some sort of running drills in there too to help with the running mechanics as well. So you can imagine that doing, let's say, like an A-switch running drill, maybe with an aqua bag or something like that, is a lot easier on the body than doing a heavy step up with chin-ups and all that sort of stuff. So a little bit low day, but it's also we're doing a lot of power work too. So some things like hip thrusts are great here because it's low eccentric demand. So it means that you're not really getting any muscle soreness. Some barbell push pressing, some banded trap bar deadlifts, stuff like this where it's not too fatiguing in the body, but it's still getting more powerful, more zippy, more explosive. And then in the gym on Friday, after we've freshened up a little bit, probably a little bit less volume because what I've gauged from people, and you probably felt the same. If you're gymming on a Friday, you're probably gone through the whole week of work or school. You're probably a little bit fatigued. You're probably a little bit gassed. And you're like, I just want to get this thing done. So the session is a little bit shorter, but still high intensity. We're still trying to build the engine of a cricketer. We're still trying to develop some strength, some power, but it's probably more of a combination of the specific stuff and a combination of that raw strength and power work. We find that they're trying to have that blend. So Monday's more like your raw force, strength and power day, big nervous system fatiguing. Wednesday's more of your motor control, specific strength. And Friday's more of your accessories, more of your have some foundational strength stuff in there, and also some specific stuff in there too. It's more of like a medium sort of style session. That's how we're balancing the training weeks out right now. Now, when it comes to running, as I talk about consolidating stresses, if we can get the boys doing their sprint work on the same day as their Monday session, that's elite, because sprinting is high fatiguing. So if you can chuck that on that Monday, happy days. But sometimes it's not quite possible. And it's really important too to not let good get in the way of perfect. Sometimes, just getting your sessions done is the crucial thing for 99% of people. When you're working with professional players and that, it is a little bit easier to, when they have the time, to structure the week out absolutely perfect. But if you're just thinking about getting the session done and you're like, oh no, I can't do it this day, and you're a little bit worried, oh no, wish I could do it this day, but I can't. Don't worry about it, because just getting your sessions done is great. So I've got some guys running on Thursdays and Saturdays. That still means they have 2 full days off for the rest of the week, a Tuesday and a Sunday. But if we can then pair one of those runs on the same day as the gym, extra day off, then it's 4 days of work, 3 days off, which is absolutely elite. And that's why I reckon it's important to understand. That's why fatigue is such an important thing to understand as well. So I'm looking at the week and I'm thinking, all right, these guys are going to be really fatigued on a Tuesday. This is where we're going to really want to try and have that off. And then I know that after the Wednesday gym session, they might not be that fatigued. So that means we can probably sprint on that Thursday if they can't get that double session in. Whereas you wouldn't want to do that sprint after that Monday session because we know how gassed they're going to be. So it's just about looking at your whole week in total, thinking, all right, what days are going to be the days that I want to be really fatigued from? What days I don't want to be too fatigued from? And then plan your days around that too. Once we get back into bowling as well, this is going to be really, really important. Because if we're going to try and build some bowling speed and tax the nervous system to bowl faster, you don't want to do those sessions after some heavy strength work. You might want to do those sessions on the day after your motor control, your lower intensity work, because that's just going to set you up so much nicer to be able to actually go in there and bowl faster. Because there's no point, if you're trying to gain speed for bowling, you can't be bowling when you're fatigued already. Because developing speed is such a high nervous system thing. It's quite a high neural thing. So just by going into those sessions already fatigued, you're already cooking yourself. You're not allowing yourself to actually get what you want out of the session. Doesn't mean you can't do a session, but if the session is focused on speed, then you might want to change that session to more of a technical session, more of a tempo session, or a fitness session, something like that. That is going to be more beneficial. So it's really important to think about, as I said, fatigue management across the week, soreness levels, and a lot of it is trial and error. A lot of it is doing what is best for you. I've made so many mistakes in this in the past where I've gone 3 days in the gym, heavy, hard, intense. And you can do it when everything's going well. You're sleeping well, work or school might be a little bit busier, a little bit quieter. Everything is just a little bit less. However, when things are a little more challenging, you're not quite recovering as well, you're not quite sleeping as well, maybe you've had a big night out, things like that, it makes it impossible. You can't do it consistently across a long block. So that's why it's really important to understand your life, understand where you're going to be tired, where you're going to be not, and balance it out properly. A nice way I think of it is like you got 3 sessions in a week in the gym. Hard, medium, and easy. And you want to structure them around your training the best. Like, there's no reason why, if your week is set up that way, you can't do a hard one on the Friday. Like, there's no way no one's stopped me from doing that. I've just found with my guys that by the time you get to Friday, you kind of want a shorter, sharper session. You still want to get the work in and feel good, but you don't want to be in the gym for 90 minutes. You want to get short and sharp, 45 minutes to an hour max, get in, get out, and then get stuck into the weekend. Another thing as well to think about too is, just, as I said before, maximising your days off. I don't want you to have all your days medium. Because you want to almost think about your weekly load as like a wave. Sometimes it'll be up, sometimes it'll be down. Sometimes it'll be up, sometimes it'll be down. You don't want the same consistency across the whole week, because that's not allowing for recovery. You want to stress the body when it's on a high, and then when it's on a low, that's our time to rest, recover, rejuvenate, so you can come back in for the next session. And I would argue too that the best adaptations, the best training comes from when you have more high sessions. Like, I'll take 2 hard sessions, 2 high sessions over 5 medium sessions. So think of it that way. Think about the quality of your training is more important than the quantity of the training. Training 6 days a week medium is worse than 3 days a week harder. So just have that in mind. Have that in mind when you're planning out your training week. Like, more days on is not better. If anything, if you can, group things up better together, that sets you up way better for your rest and recovery. So to summarise this, it's important to understand your training weeks, understand your life schedule, number one, to know when you can push, when you probably got to pull. And I understand that can be quite hard too. I find it hard to pull back. That's why having a coach is so handy. Like, it's so easy for me to go to my athletes. Yep, 100% pull back. Don't do that. But when it's me, I go, I'll keep pushing. But it's only when I talk to my other friends that are coaches, or I talk to my other friends that are coaches, like, mate, pull back today, have a rest. Or I talk to Vijay, who's my coach I work with. He's like, probably could have a rest day here. I'm like, 100%, bloody oath, good idea. But I understand when there's no one keeping you in check, keeping you accountable, how hard it is to pull back sometimes and allow your body to rest and recover, because you don't get better from your training, you get better from your recovery. So the quality of your rest and recovery dictates how better you get from the sessions that you do. From there, spread your sessions out across the week. Obviously trying to maximize days off. Not doing too many sessions that are way too high intensity will be the absolute key for that as well. As I said, I've got a Monday high intensity day, Tuesday rest because it's been high intensity. So try and have your rest days after your high intensity days. Absolutely crucial. Consolidate your stresses. Have your high and low days. And manage your fatigue. Remember, it's easy to make someone tired. It's easy to train to be tired, but it's not that easy to train to be better. And we're all about training to be better. Short and sweet one today. I'm going to wrap it up there. Remember, this is absolutely crucial. If you've got any questions, please shoot them through. I've got links down below if you are interested in joining my online coaching. Do a few spots free at the moment, and I'm on a mission to build the biggest fitness community for cricketers and make you better. So if you're interested in joining my online coaching, the link is down below. I'd love to work with you and help you get better. As I mentioned before, having a coach is so valuable to keep me online, to have trust and confidence that the training you're doing is actually getting you better, not just making you fatigued and tired. And that's my mission. I'll guarantee I'm making my life mission to make you better. So links are down there below. If you want access to the free running program, that's also down there too. But if not, I'll see you next week. And that's a wrap for today's show. Thanks for watching, guys. I know you haven't subscribed yet, so please make sure you do right now. Leave a review and let me know any feedback or any questions that you have from this previous episode. If you are interested in becoming the best cricketer that you've ever been and getting coaching from me, I have all my links down below in the description for either my in-person and based in Melbourne or my online coaching where you can be anywhere around the world. Thanks, guys. Feel free to share with a friend, and thanks for tuning in. Win the day.